you
Okay.
about it.
Okay.
What
If it is.
happened is that
Mhm.
uh, I cut my hand with the pickle jars that we put it outside our homes. It's a traditional Iraqi thing.
Mhm.
What's happened is that a month ago, it was a winter, it was cold, and we used to wear heavy clothes, and
Mhm.
we put the pickle jars usually at the edges of the window because it's big and it will not fit
Mhm.
into the refrigerator. So
Okay.
I was walking beside it, and my baby, the children, they would not walk beside you or behind you. They walk between your legs. So he was in front of me, and I felt that it was. I hit it. I hit the glass, the jar, and I felt that it will fall out and hit my baby. So I push it into the window with my hand. And when I push it, it was broken. It broke into the
Mhm.
window and the glass returned back to my hand, and I cut it between the middle and the ring finger.
Mhm.
Uh, and it takes 5 stitches after that.
Well, thankfully your hand is safe right now, and
Mm.
you're
I
just
need
fully
to.
recovered. And
Yeah.
I hear that you have done a great sacrifice right now. Today is just to probably say hi to you and just do a little bit of chat about your plans and what you've done through the critical time that you've gone through in the past,
Well,
generally
I was
speaking.
thinking about the planning. Well, I was just thinking about planning and time management because I was lost in the last month.
Okay.
And
What do you
yeah,
mean? What do you mean you were lost?
um, I didn't, when I want to recall what I did in the last month, I cannot recall actually because it was nothing beneficial. I just took care of my hand and went to a lot of doctors and consulted a lot of doctors, and nothing in particular. Well, it was nothing. So
Mhm.
when I returned back to study and take my briefs and summaries, I found that I missed a lot. I was yes,
Well, can you just
I need to plan a lot
specifically,
of things.
like, for example, I
Yes.
want you to be more specific actually here. When you say you missed a lot, do you mean in terms of life, in terms of social
No, I
activity,
mean,
or
no, not in social activities or in life, but I mean in my study because I was very good. I was reading, I read a lot, and I watched a lot of educational videos, and
Mhm.
I had a lot of briefs and,
That's why you should
logbook.
use that's why you should use this.
Yes, I have. I have two of it.
Okay. You have to.
Yes.
Well,
One
would it be
for
possible to tell
the
me a little bit
sketches.
about which one you use with me and why do you use two instead of one?
The first one is for this like sketches, like it's the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I put things and nothing particular, but when I hear something that I like, I just write it down. And the other one is arranged and well organized with colors. A lot of it contains a lot of information that I can return to it, and when and read it again, I can understand a lot of it. But the
Is it
first
like
one,
a daily journal that you keep record of the kind of activities that you do, or is it something
yeah, yeah,
different?
something like that, because
Where
before my accident, I tried to do some of time management, like to record how I am spending my time, my typical day. Like I had
what kind of recording?
a logbook, a logbook of how I spend my day, what kind of activities that I'm doing in a typical day, what are the things that I have to get rid of, and what are the things that I have to spend more time to do. But you
What's
know, I just missed the last month.
may I cut you in here?
Yes.
Do you use iPhone or Android?
No, I don't like the technology actually. I have to.
What kind of phone
I
do
like
you
to
have?
write. Xiaomi. It's Xiaomi.
Xiaomi, okay. Well, there's this kind of interesting application. It's called Live Transcribe. I don't know if you can access your phone to install it from the App Store or Android, Google Play. It's called Live, Live Transcribe. And let me just type it up here so you can have a look. Transcribe. It's a kind of yellow tag application that seems to people like any normal application out there, but it's really important. Like you can write a chapter of a book literally in half an hour or less if you have the idea on top of your mind. And I'll tell you how. Now, this is my phone. Do you see my phone?
Yes.
It's full of fingerprints. So what happens is, let me just pull out the application here. Now the app is offline. You just need to have the application online to get it started working. And what happens, as you can see right now, while I am talking, see what's happening on the screen. I just yeah. It's see, I don't know if you see a clear image of the screen because it's not in the direct focus. I think I should put it next to my face here. But you see, while I am talking, what happens?
It's recording your words?
It's recording everything I say with interruptions and you can delete that later on by copying the text and put it in a Microsoft Word. But it's really interesting. Like it literally, you know, transcribe every single word. Like, look at it. I'm talking to you right now, and it just literally finished up 2.5 pages of text. Do you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, now talk, and it's going to directly record your speech. Just talk.
Okay. Hello, how are you? Are you hearing me? Yeah, it's interesting.
It's really recording all of that. So it's quite interesting. Like this is amazing thing that helps you a lot if you are into like because you have very smart mind, and what happens is that sometimes your handwriting is slower than your mindset or mind thoughts, and you just need to type very quickly. And a lot of people actually are not tech savvy. Tech savvy means they are what we call tech savvy. People who love technology, they just prefer to write down slowly things on a notebook like this.
Yes, this is
and
me.
Sometimes they miss the instantaneous idea that just pops up in their mind, and they just want to quickly write it down because sometimes it just goes away, it evaporates. So you just need an application that matches your mind thinking speed. What I did, I used this application, and because I speak kind of relatively faster than normal, and I want to say something, I just pull it up and start automatically recording, and I just leave it on the side while I'm talking, and then it records everything, and I can do proofreading and editing later on, and I just filter any kind of unnecessary words to put it in the final shape, and then eventually, you know, dedicating that as a part of a chapter that you can use in your story or your blog or whatever you like. And this is really important. Maybe it doesn't seem feasible or easy in the beginning, but it's truly useful.
No, it's great. I liked it.
I hear that you're flipping some pages out there. So what kind of information you write normally on these journals, and where do you want to take these journals to in your life? Where do you see these journals in the upcoming year?
They are mostly words and phrases that I'm not aware of it. I wasn't aware of it, so I write it down so I can use it. You gave me a piece of advice that if I want to improve my English, I have to expose it and I have to use it. So sometimes I put it in front of me and I try to use it literally.
Would you please tell me more details about how you incorporate this kind of use and make it more learnable to you? How do you incorporate this list of things that we normally talk about to make them usable and accessible and useful to you in your life? But give me a detailed answer, like walk me through what you do and how you render it useful to you.
You mean you want me to talk about my journey during our lessons and what did I? Okay.
Yeah, that gives me insight. That gives me an insight on what kind of learner you are and what kind of things that might be useful to me as an English teacher to help you with in the future.
Before I start the sessions, I think I told you that I'm not a planner human being. I do not like to put plans, or I do not plan to the future. So I felt that from one session to another, I started to have a logbook of my own to write down what I want to do and to return back to it and see if I did it or and how the way I did it. I was, there was a very long period that I didn't read anything, any book, any words. I didn't use the translator. I didn't knew a new words. But I was more interested in opening the dictionaries and returning back to my old book and to see more, to take more informations and recall my informations. I started to use I started even to watch videos that for time management, for behavioral changes. I tried to apply that into my life. Right now.
No, this is very valid. This is very valid point. You mentioned about something about behavioral change. What kind of video did you watch about behavioral change and how you alter your behavior? Was it based on the book of The Power of Habit, or was it just generally on one of the videos?
Yes. It was very interesting for me. That book was very inspiring for me. I'd like to know more about it and to know more details about it, because the book was talking about experiments, scientific experiments, and certain type of experiences of some of the models were there. But I wanted to learn more about that in the normal life or typical ordinary life. So I started to search about it. I'm planning something. It is ironic, but I don't know. I started to take feng shui.
That's really good. That's really good. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Yeah. It was the first lesson the last week, and it is not arranged till now because they want
Try to reproach me for this kind of art, this kind of meditation, or this kind of sport. How do you think it's useful to you?
When I feel it is useful for me because I feel my life is very restricted in very close area, like my baby, my home, there is no job, no study. So I need to create more energy and power for myself so I can achieve other or plan for more for my future. So I feel that I believe in it. I told you before that I have I did meditation myself before, and I did meditation exercise before, but not the way that I see it in feng shui science. It's very peaceful, and it really makes you feel the positive energy, and it will make you get rid of all the negative energy inside of you, and to defeat the negative energy that surrounds. I knew about candles. We had a lesson talking about the candles, the kinds of candles, and what are the colors, what does it mean, and how can you, what are the elements of feng shui, like it is the heat and the water and the metals. So I knew about the candles first, and I'm preparing to buy a set of candles.
What caught your attention to be involved in this sort of activity?
As I told you, I felt that I'm restricting myself to very limited objects and things in my life. Like I'm taking care of everything else except myself. So I'm trying to focus and release the positive energy inside of me and getting rid of the negative energy that's surrounding me.
What kind of negative energy do you mean? Would you please, what we say, specifically describe the kind of negative energy? Because understanding what negative energy is step number one to resolve the conflicts of negative energy. I think it is necessary to
when you are trying to be the number one, always be the number one, as I used to do when when you stumble, you stumble.
Yes, I love this word. Oh my God, I love it. It's yes, definitely, it's a stumble.
And you get shocked, and you get nervous, and you blame everything, and you blame the surroundings, and you blame yourself for your bad decisions. But actually, there's nothing bad, and you are going very smoothly. But we cannot realize that until we learn how to focus on that and how to be grateful for that.
But don't you think that stumbling and tripping down is part of life? It's like life is not going in linear.
This is the thing that I've learned recently. Yeah, it's normal to stumble. It's normal to fall out, not only stumble, to fall down.
No, okay, that's quite interesting. But the idea is that I've been in this kind of loop for a long time, and I could perceive life in the beginning of my journey with studying and with academic field as it's a competition with my colleagues, and I've been trying always to excel and become better. And
this is the bad thing that we have learned in our high school: competition. It is not competition. You are doing the things for yourself, not to compete with other people. You are doing things for you to success, not for others to say, "Oh my God, he succeed."
It's a kind of thing that is in my DNA actually to compete, but I definitely attribute that to how we were taught and how we were educated in the elementary school, where the excellent students get hailed and get greeted by the administration and by their fellow friends and teachers, and every look goes towards them. And but that's exhausting on the personal level, because you need to always embellish yourself and show people that you have excellent skills and unparalleled level of
we are continuously and consistently pushing on yourself and your abilities, and sometimes you don't have enough energy to go on. and competition sometimes makes you envy others and become
envy others.
envy others and become jealous, and this is very unhealthy thing. I'm trying to, like when I was in the college, I was amazing, like really, really amazing, especially in the practical sessions. I thought that I'm gonna be a professor or something. I will not stop studying until I get the prof degree. But the lazy students now have their own clinics, and I am sitting in the home. This is kind of energy that I want to get rid of. I don't want to envy others. I don't want to be too jealous. It is just not my time. It is not my time right now, but my time will come, of course, later on.
Well, I just recorded a voiceover kind of story. It's called Juha and his donkey. It has a moral lesson actually, and the moral it's quite interesting story. You probably heard about Juha, of course, and his donkey and the kind of funny stories that he had in his life. Probably is going to be useful to let your children listen to this kind of story. And it talks about his journey with his son and his donkey, and he was walking to the market and he was riding the donkey, and his son was pulling the donkey in front of him. So he passed by a group of people and they said, "Why do you ride the donkey while you are the father and your son is pulling you, where you should take care of your son because your son is young and he cannot do this kind of exhausting work." So he went off, he got off the donkey, and he let his son ride the donkey. So when they walked a few miles away, they saw a group of women, and the woman said, "That's really humiliating. Why do you put your son on the back of a donkey and you're pulling the donkey, where he should honor you and let you ride the donkey since you are older and you're his dad and whatever." And what he did was he took his son and he let him ride the donkey with him. So they were both riding the donkey and walking to the market. So when they arrived in the market, people were criticizing them for exhausting the donkey because they are both riding the donkey. And the moral lesson is that impressing people and trying to follow what people tell you is always exhausting. You just need to do whatever you think is right, regardless of what people think. How is this compatible with your current philosophy as opposed to your previous philosophy in life?
Well, as you said, the people will always judge you negatively. Not, it is only your parents will judge you positively, so you have to learn not to listen. This is one of the lessons that I've learned. I don't have to listen to anyone else except myself, and I have to arrange my ideas according to the things that I already have, because a lot of like the honor I also read and I don't know if I read it or I see it in the video, the owner of Amazon and Alibaba.
Jeff Bezos, yeah.
Yeah, and the other one is the owner of Alibaba site. They and the McDonald's, the old man that owned McDonald's restaurants. They did their dreams and they make it come true at 60s. So they didn't care about the people. They didn't care about what they are saying about them, about their judgment. They only tried their best, and the opportunity came to them afterward. So I think feng shui will be very beneficial for me in the few weeks. Next few weeks.
Well, so what do you want to accomplish from applying candles and feng shui art on your life in general? What's your target? Because I want you to tell me about your target. Probably telling me is going to reshape better and positively your perception of your target or your objective and what your sense of accomplishment is.
Yeah, I told you that competition make me envy my friends and make me jealous that they have their dreams came true and they have their own clinics and their logos with their name. I don't want to be that kind of person. I want to be like more convinced with the things that I have because I may have more than they do. This makes me nervous and not sometimes I feel that I become closed-minded, not open-minded. So I needed relaxation in this period, and my hand accident just like a hit on my head to start that actions. Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's very impressive, especially from the point that you put it. And probably the kind of activities that you do, the kind of escapism or the sense of activities that you plan to do will ultimately help you get rid of some of the stress that comes collaterally as a part of living in a tense sort of environment like the current environment that we live in. There is this kind of question that comes to me all the time, and the question is whether living in a very tense environment gives value to people more than living in a relaxed environment or not. Because every one of the environments, like living in Iraq, where there's unpredictable scenarios, where there's always constant change of plans and no predictable set of kind of activities that you need to do in order to get your results, versus living in Finland, where there is very high level of education, the value of security and the value of stability is really high. What are the positives and negatives of living in Iraq versus living, for example, abroad or emigrating abroad?
Well, I think we had very interesting features that we have learned from our, let's say, bad circumstances and adaptation. We developed this like behavior or habits of adaptation, and moving on, we adapted ourselves to the bad circumstances and to the tragic issues that we are subjected to, and despite that, we go on. We didn't like, I will use the same term, we didn't stumble a lot, or we didn't fall down a lot. Like, bring anyone from Finland or USA or from Netherlands or any place with the high security and better education chances, and make him live here in Iraq. He will do nothing. He will absolutely nothing, because he will not be able to adapt to the circumstances. Really, they will not be able to defeat those circumstances. So I think we became very brave and courageous.
Is it a mental immunity that people gain by just getting yourself naturalized or acclimatized to this sort of unpredictability living in Iraq? Or is there any kind of mental process that happens in a very high densely risky environments that just make people resists abnormality?
I think without this resistance that we feel and without the nature of adaptation that we develop, we couldn't survive so far, because it is, everything is abnormal, everything is beyond normal, but despite that we have like when you go to the European countries or USA, you can see Iraqi people with very high levels, and they are very respected, and because they used to live in very bad circumstances. They used to live in a very short resources. So when they will will travel, or when they have better positions, they will do their best, and they will be better than they will be the best. So it is a good thing. I think the pressure upon ourselves can make us learn more.
What are the 3 major concerns that just add more stress to your life, that just let you find alternatives to cure that?
The major what? 3 major what?
The major sources of stress in your life.
I think first, not completing my degree. This is a nightmare for me. It is not only a concern. Not completing
it's coming.
my
Don't
degree.
worry about it.
Yes. The second thing is that I cannot assure my baby the kind of life that I imagined that I can do before. Because, I'm a doctor and my husband is an engineer, and we are obligated to create the better circumstances and environment for him. This is the second major concern.
From an educational point of view, you cannot teach your children anything. You can only provide
I have to create
the context for them to learn.
Yeah, I have to create a healthy environment, and so they have the standards that they can follow it, or they can create their standards according to what I perform to them. The third one, I don't know. What is the third major concern?
Okay. Well, keep thinking about the third one.
Yeah, I will keep thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you're back in shape. I haven't noticed any retrogression, actually. I still see the positive vibe. I still see the positive energy. I still see the same sanguine kind of person out there who's talking to me. Sanguine is optimistic or positive, especially in difficult situations. I haven't noticed any retrogression at all. What we are going to do in our next meeting is to get you back in shape in terms of the kind of task that I've assigned you to do. You have only one major task, which is resume reading The Power of Habit, starting from where you finished, and then prepare a short presentation for 30 minutes to walk me through the details of the kind of chapter that you are going to read and how it is relevant to your life. Again, next, read the next chapter of The Power of Habit where you paused, and prepare a short presentation. You do not have to make any PowerPoint or anything. You just need to write down major points you're going to focus on, thinking of how reading that part is relevant to your life, drawing on any kind of experiences or thoughts. My major point or objective or goal of having you do that is to help you speak for half an hour consecutively, stretching out your speaking skills, and also training yourself to do public presentations where you can prove to people that you are an effective speaker, and also bridging the gap of relevance between what you read and how it is relevant to your life. Is this clear?
Yes, it is. Of course.
Okay, I want you to do a great job, and I'm fully confident that you can do that. You may expect some pauses, and I totally expect some sort of interruptions because I will be asking you so many questions regarding that. So keep me posted, and let's meet Sunday, or what today is? Well, Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's meet on Sunday, inshallah, and walk through that process. Is that okay?
Okay, yes, it is.
Perfect. Well, I really enjoyed your conversation, and
Me
I'm
too.
pretty happy that you just came back in shape.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome, my dear. Stay in shape, stay positive, and say hi to Jafar, and looking forward to see you on Sunday.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Have a good night too. Bye-bye.